Hello guys, this is Botworld Adventure and this is Ptash. In this video I would like to showcase the new bot Gasto. This new bot is a support and well, let's take a look at his skills and at his AI. So I have Gasto at level 20, as you can see here. He's fully upgraded. He has 7600 HP at level 20 with no AI upgrades, so you can increase that. About 300 attack and well 400 DPS. Speed is quite average. Well, let's see his abilities. Puff is just a basic shot, you know, it has quite a fast attack speed, so that's good, but it doesn't do that much, and it's also increased by the AI. I will quickly show it to you soon. Blowback is like a defense ability, so when some bot comes close to Gasto, he will just push it out for a quite a distance, you know. And finally, the ultimate ability of Gasto is Hurl. It sucks in the nearest ally and launches them at the enemy. Okay, I will explain it to you. So it chooses the nearest ally and sort of brings it to him, and then it blows him to the enemy, like shoot your ally into the enemy. You will see that soon. Finally, the AI. I would like to show you the AI. So the first choice is damage of the ultimate increase. So I've took that. And yeah, speed boost as well, so you know it would be 12 speed. It doesn't really matter that much. I think this is a no-brainer and you should choose A here. Puff damage, so the basic attack increased by 30%. I think it's also well better a bit, but you know it isn't bad as well, especially if you face, you know, melee enemies, so 30% chance to knock enemies back. I would like for it to be like 33% chance, but whatever. I've took damage because I don't really need that utility of Puff knocking enemies back, so I just took damage, and I think it's overall a better choice. Okay, so this AI is about ultimate, and when you hit an enemy with your ultimate, when you throw your ally into the enemies and you damage them, they get a debuff that makes them get increased damage from your bots, just, you know, so it's 25% more, and well, it's noticeable. This is health increase. I don't think that Gasto needs this health. I think that A choice is better. You know, this is because Gasto is he has a good defensive ability and he is ranged, so you can place him good and he should be quite safe. Finally, we've got weakening blast, so enemies hit by that defensive ability take 40% more damage, or this defensive ability pushes enemies back even further. So I think this AI is quite boring. No matter what will you choose, I think A is better just because, you know, this damage is more useful overall. But yeah, this is quite boring choice here, and yeah, it's about defensive ability, so I don't even feel like I miss out by not having this, you know, AI. And finally, we've got vacuum tubing, which means that our ultimate starts 60% charged, which is almost instant, and I must admit I also don't feel like bad about not having it, because I don't want it to be instant, because, you know, I mean, for some combos maybe it's good, but I don't feel like it's good for my combo, you know. So yeah, this AI 3 pretty much is like you would have AI 5. This gameplay will look similar to if you had, you know, AI 5. So I think it's quite fine. Okay guys, so let's fight. While we fight, I think I'm going to talk a bit about the Gasto, you know. And meanwhile you will see him in action as well, so it will be quite good, I think. So yeah, I understand what's the idea behind Gasto, and I must admit that this idea seems really fun, you know, that you hurl these melee bots or tanks into enemies and they cause havoc and destroy them, you know. It's really fun. However, it's, you know, the fact that Gasto stuns your own bot and does it quite often means that it's not maybe that cool as it sounds, you know. This is quite fine because we are fighting against enemies that are low level. However, it doesn't look that cool when you are facing stronger opponents, and I will show it to you. So I will go to the highest level zone in the game, and well, you will see that Gasto works here, and well, he's good for combos as well, I must admit, because he tries to, you know, aim into the group of enemies and like group stuns them. This is quite fun, but it's just the fact that it stuns your own bot that doesn't seem really appealing, especially if you have like 4 alt cooldowns. It's actually bad for Gasto. When you are playing with Gasto, I feel like you don't want to have 4 alt cooldowns, you know, because he will just stun your own bot so often. But at the same time, if he doesn't use his ability, what does he really do? He doesn't bring anything to the game besides that ability. So it's like you don't want him to use that ability, but you want to use that ability at the same time. It's kind of weird, you know? Still, he is not useless, and that ultimate does some damage, so I can't say that he's like very bad or straight up useless. I think it's just like, you know, I feel like it would be better if Gasto had some other ability for his second ability. So instead of that pushback, instead of that defensive ability, if he had some like another utility tool, like, you know, like Halo has 2 bubbles. One is defending enemies and the other is boosting the, what am I talking? Halo has 1 bubble which helps your ally, and the other bubble which, you know, boosts your ally. So both of his abilities are cool for utility. Meanwhile, Gasto has this defensive ability that really weakens his, you know, presence as a support bot, because yeah, he is a support bot because he helps, you know, these melee bots to get into battle. Still, I would like to have some more, you know. I wish he had some other ability for his second ability, but I'm not sure what could it be really, you know. Maybe if this pushback was like not a defensive ability but just a regular ability, so he pushes enemies back and causes them to take more damage after he does so. Just if that defensive ability had more range, in other words. That would be cool, I think. Let's try Ram and, well, maybe Beat. They are grouped already, so I don't really need, you know, that trainer. And yeah, I think that Gasto is really fun to play around as well. I must admit that there is a lot of things that you can do with him. And I also must say that, you know, Frosty's got such a huge buff. They are like Terminators. They stun you for 3.5 seconds and they absolutely obliterate you. Frosties are quite strong right now. They are very tanky. Okay, but yeah, what about this Gastobot? Like, I wish to say more about him, and there is a lot to say about him, definitely, because I feel like there are a lot of cool combos with him. But as you can see, his gameplay is very simple. Like, he's just standing, shooting, and, you know, doing his stuff, and that's basically it. Like, usually he's just standing and shooting and using his ultimate on cooldown, and that's it. This design also means that there is not much to these bots. Like, he won't change really his stance in the battle. He isn't chasing, he isn't, you know, tanking or anything. He's just standing and using his ultimate and his basic attack, which is fine, obviously. But I feel like there is an unrealized potential in that second ability. If this second ability was a bit more interesting, this would be a great bot. But right now he's just like a, you know, bot of throwing your own allies into enemy. And, you know, as I'm saying, he's also stunning your own bots during that animation of ultimate, which isn't the perfect case, you know. It isn't that bad because it's quite fast, thankfully, but yeah, it's not perfect. Okay, so I will get that weakening blast. We almost have full AI because I don't really need that final 5 AI. You know why? Because I have 4 alt cooldowns, so I have this ultimate almost instantly anyway. So let's try to use him with something again. So I usually am using some good 2 bots with him, you know, and allow him to just throw them. And look, now he should use that ability, defensive ability, and he didn't. I don't really fight here, you know, these melee bots that would chase him, but I am not sure. Did he really use his ability, defensive ability? I feel like he didn't. But what's about his ultimate? You can notice when he grabs your own bot, your ally doesn't charge his ultimate during that animation. I feel like it's quite bad. If the ally that is grabbed by Gusto had the ability being kept being charged, you know, that would be better. But as of now, he's stopping that ultimate charge. So I feel like there is so much weaknesses to using this bot, you know. We must find some melee bots to fight, so we can, you know, test his defensive ability as well. Let's take a look maybe, and I want to check that. Oh my, it's 6-second cooldown, and notice, because it is not an ultimate ability, alt cooldown won't work on that. So it's like straight up 6 seconds after the battle, only then he has this ability. It's like, it's completely useless if that's the case. I will try to make him use that, but it will be very difficult. Maybe in bandit fight, it's like 6 seconds. Usually fight is almost over after 6 seconds. Maybe not that much. Okay, but still, it's like after 6 seconds, if he is placed incorrectly, he will be most likely, you know, dead. So I wonder what's up with that. Like, how he has to survive 6 seconds against Ram, for example. It's very hard, you know. But maybe I will manage to do that. Come on, use it. Is it bugged or something? Like, he should have it off cooldown, right? But he never uses it. He just runs away instead of using it. Okay, one final try. And yeah, I tried to use different comps with Gasto. As you could see, I used Ram, Beat, Flamer. I didn't use much Brute, but you could see action with him as well. So I hope that I gave you a good overview of his combos and so on. Okay, he did use that. He did use that. It's very quick. So it may be the case that I didn't notice before him using that. It's very quick. So it's good that it is very quick, because he needs quickly to have some defense against melee bots, which, you know, will obliterate him because he has low HP. So this ability works, but I must admit it's only for defense, so it's not that good. It works well. It has like almost no animation. It's very fast. Does it really make Gasta more safe? I would say that it's okay. It's only one target, so like, for example, Longshot has like area of effect defensive ability. It's only for one target, so it's not that good if 2 bots are chasing him. And this damage taken, I have no idea. Like, it's like for 2 seconds damage taken for the enemy affected. It's good, but how do you use it reliably? You know, you don't. It's so random, and yeah, I dislike this ability overall. I think that maybe something more, just an idea, maybe like a target ranged bot that is like chased by some melee bots and put him somewhere else to safety. That would be something that a support ability does. But I think it's a stupid idea, but you get what I mean. It doesn't have to be that. Just something that is good for utility and not for defense, you know, because like Beat doesn't have defense mechanic, Halo doesn't have defense mechanic. I would say that Tether doesn't have a defense mechanic as well. So yeah, I must say that I like the stun of ultimate ability. And well, it's quite quick cooldown as well, so I would say it's pretty cool. But you could see Gaston in action and you could decide how he looks, how he performs yourself based on this video. And let me know in comments, what do you think? Is he good? Is he decent? I think that I've showed him properly to you. I was using melee bots and tanks with him. I can't say that he is bad or something. It's just that I feel like there could be much more to this bot than it is. Okay, so to not make this video too long, that's it guys. And let me know what do you think about Gasto. And well, see you next time.